Yo dudes! Welcome.
How are you?
Welcome to Sriracha sauce. So Sriracha sauce is probably one of the world's most famous hot sauces. It originates from Thailand. History has it that it either came from a town called Sriracha or else there was some human once that used to distribute it called Sriracha.
Yeah. That's the folklore, whichever you believe. Okay, today we're going to put it to the test. So, as you know, we make a load of 5-minute dinners. We want to see, typically a Sriracha sauce takes 5 days fermenting and then it's blended up afterwards. We want to see the difference. We're going to make the 5-day ferment one and we're going to make the one instantly in 5 minutes. We're going to put them to the test and tell you which one is better.
Yep, so stay tuned to the end. This is cool. You'll actually learn that is it worth the 5-day fermentation process. Okay, first step, we have 240 grams. We're just using standard chilies.
Medium power, so these aren't super hot.
Yeah, they're not ridiculously hot. What we're going to do is we're going to cut the stalk off but leave part of the green bit on. If your blender is not high-powered blender like this, don't put them in straight. Obviously chop them beforehand, but in our case, this one's a bit of a beast, so we're going straight in. The beautiful thing about making your own homemade Sriracha sauce is in the traditional one, there's often stabilizers and preservatives. And by making your own, you can make it organic and you can take out all the less desirable
gnarly bits.
Products.
Okay, so we got 240 grams of red chilies. We're going to go in with 3 cloves of garlic.
Obviously peel them. We've 50 grams of sugar and we're going with half a teaspoon of salt. So we don't put vinegar at this stage just because it's going to affect the fermentation process.
Okay, so we blended that until it's smooth. What we're going to do now is we're going to transfer this to a jar. And we're going to literally, in the traditional method, we'd leave this sit to ferment for 5 days.
There we are, 1 full jar. Obviously, you kind of want the lid off, really, so just level it and just put a little bit of a cloth over to avoid any kind of wasps or flies or bacteria getting involved. You can put a bit of
an elastic band around the top if you're into that sort of thing.
Yeah, so leave it for 5 days. So here's one that we have prepared earlier. So we've fermented this for 5 days, and obviously it's similar in terms of its color appearance.
It actually smells a bit more fermenty. There's a bit more natural sense of vinegar or acid to it.
Okay. Yeah, and there'll be a slight little bubbly like quality to it. So right, to finish this, what we're going to do is we're going to pour this into a blender. As we noted earlier, we didn't put the vinegar in when we blended it first because it was going to get in the way of the fermentation process. So in that goes.
In on top of that, we're now going to add the vinegar. We've got 50 ml of apple cider vinegar or vinegar of choice.
You could use rice wine vinegar if you want to be more authentic, game ball. And then normally what's put in traditional srirachas, they use xanthan gum. So this is normally a thickener and a stabilizer, and it creates much more of that kind of gloopy-like sauce. We're going to just put in a tiny little bit of arrowroot to replicate that. You could use xanthan gum if you want. You could use normal white flour. You could use cornstarch. I'm literally going to go in with about 1 teaspoon.
Okay, cool. So we're just going to blend that until it comes nice and smooth and it all comes together.
Okay, blend until it's super smooth. You get a nice orangey note to the sauce. Now we're going to just strain it.
Whoa! Jeez, the bang of chili off it. Whoa!
Chili and acid, so wonderful combination. So here we're just straining it so we have a super smooth sauce with no bits. So just straight through just a normal sieve.
So that's more the traditional Sriracha, 5 days, 5 minutes. Okay, so now we're gonna make our 5-minute version. So as you know, we blended our chilies, we blended our garlic, our salt, and our sugar.
240 grams of chili, 50 grams of coconut sugar we used, or sugar of choice.
Half a teaspoon of salt.
Boom, so that's literally, we blended that a minute ago. So with the fermentation process, it's gonna generate more acidity. So we're gonna increase the acidity because this one hasn't gone through the fermentation process. So instead of 50 ml, we're gonna put in 65 ml. Also, the fermentation process tends to yield more bubbles are generated through that process. So I'm putting in 1 tablespoon of sparkling water.
Woo!
And then time to add our thickener. So obviously we're gonna need a little bit more of a thickener to counteract the water. So I've got 1.5 tablespoons of arrowroot powder.
This is gonna help thicken it and give the sauce more body. So running it through a sieve makes it not clump. And now it's as simple as just putting it in the blender and blending until it's smooth. Putting it into the blender and blending until it's smooth. Boom. So we blended that until it's smooth. It smells, whoa! It smells ferocious. Okay, so we've got the sieve in the bowl and we're just gonna strain it.
Same process. We wanna just take out any degree of body and texture and make this a thin, nice, and viscous sauce.
Okay, so we've made them both. This is the 5-minute one, and this is the fermented one. We're now calling in Sriracha sauce expert, Paul Murphy. Yay!
Woo! Okay, so Paulie, we're going to blind test, get you to try these 2 Srirachas, and you're going to pick your favorite.
Okay,
Yeah?
cool.
Close your eyes.
Close your eyes.
That'll mess my mouth.
Okay, now we'll feed you.
Okay, so this is number 1. So number
You hold that
1.
Come on.
Okay, here's number 1. Eyes closed. Okay, and this is number 2.
Okay, and number 2. Okay, you ready, Paulie?
Yeah.
Coming in. Do you want to do them both again?
And the winner is...
The winner's the second one.
The second one!
Yeah.
Second one! Look!
5 minutes,
5 minutes
Sriracha.
Sriracha, so there was very little difference.
That's a little bit more vinegary.
This
first
one,
one,
whereas
the
this one
fermented.
actually has more vinegar in it.
Wow. That's
So the
mad.
fermentation process yielded more vinegar. Okay, right. For the final blind taste test, we're going to compare our 5-minute Sriracha versus Mama Sriracha.
The original.
Okay, close your eyes, Paulie, again. Blind
I don't
taste
know.
test.
He'd be able to tell the
I'll be
difference.
able
in
to
them
tell the
two.
difference anyway.
Yeah, okay, but it's just which do you prefer? Okay.
I want to play this game too.
So it almost is like a ketchup, but it has a slight
It's
umami
very
note to it.
sweet, isn't it?
It has, like, I genuinely get a note of umami or tamari through that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Well, that'd be the flavour enhancers. That'd be the MSG in it.
Yeah. This is more fruity tasting.
It is, yeah.
Like it's a lot more fruity. So it's down to your own palate. If you prefer fruity Sriracha, this one. If you want to make this more like the original, add a little bit of tamari or umami to it. But
Our one's
I
more
prefer
rocket
that.
saucy. Yeah. Anyway, there you have it.
You can taste the fresh chilies in that one.
yeah, you really
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
So 5 minutes Sriracha was the winner. The fermented one is the traditional one, and obviously you can buy it if you want. But let us know your thoughts down below. We'd be genuinely interested.
Thanks for watching. Cheers.
Happy hot saucing.
So if you want a thicker sauce, what we did is we simply brought it to a simmer and let it reduce for about 8 minutes. You end up with a lovely kind of thick, creamy sauce that will coat anything majestically. Other point to note, our homemade Sriracha is much nicer, much fruitier, much fresher tasting, and much more vibrant tasting
Than what?
than the traditional mother Sriracha sauce.
That's quite a
Did
bold
you know?
statement, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really lovely. Look at that for a texture.